The strategy genre feels alive and well these days compared to just a few years ago, and thank God for that. And whether we are finding ourselves on historical grounds back on Earth, or among the stars and alien civilizations in space, gamers have so much to choose from. Today we're taking a look at Galactic Civilizations IV and its latest update to see where this game finds itself with so many new additions. And thanks to Stardock Entertainment for sponsoring this video, I was able to produce it at the speed of light in time for this Hyperlanes update and the sale which is currently ongoing. So make sure to check it out using my link below. First of all, let's talk about the new update. Now, since launch, Galactic Civilization IV has had some major innovations spicing up the game, including things like actual war aims for when you're heading off to, well, war, entirely new species and races, to an AI faction that plays differently than anyone else, mega structures which lets you build things like ring worlds and other mega buildings, and now the completely free Hyperlanes update, allowing you to take advantage of traveling through the galaxy at the speed of light. You can even see these hyperlanes clearly visible on the map as they span entire solar systems, since it usually takes a long time to make it from one end of your empire to the next, or indeed from your own star base to the enemy's borders. These hyperlanes can make those journeys a lot faster, and if you are able to dominate their gates, i.e. their enter and exit points, you'll have won huge strategic victories. When you do find yourself at war though, it's vital to remember that your fleet can only be supported as far as your supplies can carry them, meaning that you must take care not to get overextended or get in over your head. This big update also carries with it a big overhaul to the UI, giving us a completely and fantastic new overview menu over your and other civilizations, kind of like a ledger. You can even give automated commands to your ships, shipyards, fleets or gateways for even less micromanaging if that suits you. Let's talk a bit about what Galactic Civilizations IV actually is, because if you're not familiar, it's worth getting to the meat and potatoes of this ever-expanding game right away. Galactic Civilizations IV is a 4X space strategy game, where you lead your civilization from having recently become a spacefaring planet to a true galactic empire. In sound 4X tradition, as this is a sprawling game with no pre-made map in the traditional sense, you get to not only create your civilization, choosing their strengths and weaknesses, you can of course also decide how massive and intricate this galaxy will be, in essence setting up what sort of campaign you want. By now, Galactic Civilizations IV offers you so many factions to choose from that you're certain to find something you like, but you can of course choose one of your own too, even customizing to the point of creating your own avatar with your own in-house editor. The great thing about Galactic Civilizations IV is therefore that it is in fact very approachable to people who have at least some experience with the genre, and its beginning tutorial messages are easy to follow and never really drag on. In this way, you won't have to spend 5 to 50 hours just learning how to play, as everything is clearly outlined, and because things open up as you go, it eases you into the larger experience at the same time. The campaign is of course where the magic happens, but you'll have a completely different experience depending on what kind of civilization you're playing as. Human and other organic factions will of course require things like food and a large agricultural sector to thrive and expand their population, but an AI-based synthetic faction might not. Indeed, they allow you to order the production of new citizens entirely. Now you've made it to the galaxy map and you're ready to start conquering, diplomating, exploring, and trading. But what I love about this game is how easy it is to understand its UI. You see, while there are quite a lot of things to remember and think about here, everything is easily explained. On the right, you'll get quick overviews of everything that's happening in your empire, whether that be planets, fleets, star bases, important events, or indeed what your top advisors think you should do. On the top, you'll find all the game's resources, with the ones to the right of the split being precious and rare minerals, meant for both construction or special projects, upgrades, or indeed for trade with other empires. On the bottom of the screen is where you'll find many of the empire management aspects of Galactic Civilizations IV, neatly placed within their own sections depending on what you want to manage. As you play and get access to new technologies and cultural advancements, you'll open up new possibilities in this section, related but not limited to civilizational policies, for example. These are policies that give your empire a true boost, like Heart of the Empire, which gives a big increase to both influence and income. The policy screen is vital and becomes even more important over time with new technologies unlocked, but notice also that this is where you can do things like increase or decrease your tax revenue, which of course must be balanced up against the happiness of your people. And yes, both humans and AI are made more or less happy by relative taxation. However, you can also direct your entire faction to focus on a certain aim, like increased growth, income, research, manufacturing, or military, so this might just be the most important screen in the game. But of course, whether it comes to recruiting advisors, generals, or other high-ranking members of society, leaders if you will, you may do that in the Leaders tab. I love in particular that you can assign specific diplomats to your relations with other factions, and your relationships will become better or worse, partly depending on their diplomatic skills. Gameplay-wise, as an exploration game, Galactic Civilizations IV really harbors that joy of being set in space. You begin with virtually nothing but a home planet, a space station, and an exploration ship, and it's up to you to lead your people to new frontiers. Perhaps you'll send a colony ship to extract resources from a nearby planet, but you'll do well to send your probe ships to survey anomalies and outlying systems, because there is a ton of resources, hidden gameplay features, and other story-based segments to come across. What I appreciate especially about this game is how planet management is handled. You see, we have core worlds and resource colonies essentially, meaning that if a world is not developed enough or is of a not sufficient size, you essentially do not need to micromanage it at all. And at that stage, all it does is nicely send your home planet resources, and I love that when you click on your core planets, you see all those lanes where trade and wealth is coming from. When a planet is important enough to become habitable though, you'll get to assign a governor there, and you must always take care to assign someone who is loyal enough, and hopefully competent enough to rule in your stead and over time. Another fun aspect is that the map itself and the resources on it feel so fluidly and effortlessly interactable. Getting those valuable resources, like the Rentium, antimatter, and so on, is vital, but it's not enough to have these within your zone of control. In order to make use of them, you have to use your construction ships to create mining outposts, which then will siphon the valuable resources back to your empire. Over time, you can upgrade these outposts too for better yields or for military capability upgrades. And with the right technology, you can create special mining operations on asteroids, which also net you a big boost in valuable mineral extraction. At some point, you will of course come across other civilizations too, which is where both diplomacy and warfare enter the stage. The galaxy of Galactic Civilizations IV is massive depending on your chosen settings, and the number of competing factions similarly so. As always in strategy games, it's up to you to decide whether to befriend them or initiate hostilities, but what I find so great about this game is that the AI actually feels like they're actively taking a stand towards you. The AI will actively seek you out for what feels like fairly balanced and mutually beneficial trade deals on paper, but it is of course up to you and your long-term plans whether you wish to engage with them or not. In the same vein, you'll have civilizations reaching out to you for requests or demands fairly often, whether it comes to hunting down fleeing scientists or providing them with specimens of your own population for their own sport. Indeed, they'll even ask you for things like survey rights. The game differentiates between two types of diplomacy essentially. The first type, which deals with trade and specific diplomatic treaties, and the second type, which are conducted through events and unique interactions. This system gives the game a sense of action in regards to the AI. And what's even better is that during wars, if the AI feels like you're assuming the upper hand, they'll actively reach out to you for a peace deal. Sometimes beneficial to you if they feel weak, or sometimes beneficial to themselves if they feel cocky. Either way, all of these events and interactions makes it feel like you're actively making decisions on a turn-by-turn basis, and few strategy games have as active of an AI as Galactic Civilizations IV. Active warfare is naturally a part of this game as well, and while you must take care to build and design your warships for your aims, seeking out the right targets is also vital. You can stop the enemy from surveying the galaxy by taking out their probe ships, for example. You can destroy their space stations and shipyards to effectively cripple their ability to expand outward. But if you want to actually dominate them and occupy their planets, you must construct siege fleets with enough strength to punch through their defenses and invade. And all of this comes with both technology and resource demands. As everything else in Galactic Civilizations IV though, this comes with time, and if you manage to focus on the right technology research and make the right decisions at the right time, there is nothing stopping you from becoming the galaxy's most powerful space empire. When all is said and done, Galactic Civilizations IV has become so much more than it was just a year ago, and especially since its release on Steam. And if you've been looking for a new 4X space strategy game that feels fresh but familiar at the same time, and which doesn't demand dozens of hours from you just to learn the basics, then there's honestly no better place to be than right here. especially with the consistent mix of paid and free massive updates. Let me know what you think of Galactic Civilizations 4 in the comments, tell me if you have played it already or not, and if you're interested, make sure to check the game out on Steam using my link, especially while it's on sale right now. Like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much to Stardock Entertainment for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!